I don't know how that guy's Sean looks. I know his back had to come up, and I just know they always look bigger over there, and they come over here, they look different.
Sean is he's well put together. He has balance. He's just small. That's the only way I can put. He's small. That's how I feel about him. But he does have his body parts in proportion. He's got really nice lines. He brings really good conditioning. Now, if he's added enough size, Mike, because we haven't seen him this year, if he's added enough size, that could be different. Maybe he comes out in the lineup and it's like, oh shit, like who is that?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's seen that dude in a while, and he looks crazy, right? So, there's some wild cards. There's, high expectations for the guys that have been placing high. It's just an exciting time, man. I just, we got a bunch of guys who are just knocking on the door, across, Miami and Toronto and the show last weekend and the Mile High, like all those guys, like all those top 5 guys, in some cases like top 2, top 3, they're all coming in to Florida this weekend. As well as, you got like Chris, who already qualified. He's still doing the show. You got Shun coming from Japan, and like, I don't think anyone's seen that dude in a while, and he looks crazy, right? So, there's some wild cards. There's, high expectations for the guys that have been placing high. It's just an exciting time, man. I just,
I did look at the list. I think top 5 for me is pretty easy for me to call a top 5 here. There's a lot of guys who look good, but I think the top group, there is a distinct separation between what we look at as a top group in this show and for the second group. And, top 5 for me, it's not hard. I call out Chris Barr, Ruben Glass, Deke Walker, Antoine Weatherspoon, and Chevy Phillips. That's a top 5 for me. And I'll throw Winston Sullivan in as a top 6. And that's a fucking solid top 6. I don't need to see more than that. There may be some guys that's going to show up who's going to surprise us. But as far as the top 6 is concerned, those guys are all Olympia level athletes. They're all going to bring it.
I'll tell you, right, I'm not going to say any names, right?
Yeah.
I think with this many guys, with all these great shapes instructors, I think there's going to be guys with the conditioning that just pop, right? And there's going to be guys who are very similar to each other, and then there's going to be guys that jump off the stage. And I think it's going to be conditioning. Like, there's guys that are going to be crisp, that come out on stage when the lights hit them. You can't deny those guys. And then there's going to be other guys. I think Ben said it a couple different ways, a couple different times, but there's going to be a couple guys who just aren't fully cooked yet, right? You could see the potential in them, but when they're standing there, they're just not going to jump. And so, I think for me, when you see these guys, it's going to be the ones who show up in condition that day that separate themselves.
I don't know how that guy's Sean looks. I know his back had to come up, and I just know they always look bigger over there, and they come over here. They look different next to the size here sometimes. It's hard for me. I did look at one of his pictures, and he looks great. So I don't know much about him. How is his back there? Like, how's his flow? He's got.
He's well put together, Mike.
I'll let you talk, Ben.
Sean is he's well put together. He has balance. He's just small. That's the only way I can put. He's small. And when David, you said something like, if they're on stage and they pop out to us, he's not someone that's on stage that just, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. When I'm seeing him on stage, if you see him by himself, he looks really good. But every time he's on the line and in the lineup, he doesn't pop out to you. He just kind of looks small. He kind of looks like he's there. You see, good lines, good conditioning, but there's nothing that just really stands out about his look. That's how I feel about him. But he does have his body parts in proportion. He's got really nice lines. He brings really good conditioning. Now, if he's added enough size, Mike, because we haven't seen him this year, if he's added enough size, that could be different. Maybe he comes out in the lineup and it's like, oh shit, like who is that?
Yeah.
Maybe. I see cuts in the comments said he put on 10 pounds.
Yeah.
If he put on 10 pounds of lean muscle tissue, because he's a guy that's always conditioned, if he put on 10 pounds of muscle since last year, that should certainly pop, right? So we'll see.
No, the potential's there. That's why I brought him back up after looking at these pictures.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this guy on stage, if he looks kind of like this, he could do well. Yeah, I'm excited.
So, man, looking forward to a really good show. You know, the good thing about it is this, Mike. It doesn't matter. This is what I always say. It doesn't matter what we think. It doesn't matter about what we predict or what we think could happen. You got to show up on Saturday and compete. And that's the lovely part about it. We get to watch every single weekend someone that we're not expecting, someone to come in lights out. And that's what we're here for. We want to see good competition. We want to see guys look their best and battle it out. And so I'm here for it. It doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what you think. David's just running the show at this point. He's not even judging this one. So he gets to be a fan of it while he's also running it. It's going to be a good weekend. So we get to see some fireworks in St. Pete.
Guys, shock us. I mean, like, we want to be shocked. We want someone new to talk about.
Yeah.
We love, I think, even as judges, fans, competitors, we love when there's a new guy coming out that's doing great and like when Banks came out, I mean, he raised the level of the league. I mean,